Hey everyone, Amy here. Welcome back to my channel. I have Flynn by my side down here. We are halfway through August. Who's excited? I know I am. That means we're getting closer to fall. Sorry, let me get the pup moving. He seems to think that this is all about him right now. But I have so many candles to get through, you guys. I'm gonna push my table back a little bit. Sorry for not being prepared. It's been a crazy week. Yeah, my daughter moves out this weekend into her dorm. We had a massive storm last night, our first monsoon storm in a very long time. Came through last night, didn't get much sleep, but it's Friday. I'm super happy about that. And I wanted to go through my mid-August candle empties and some declutters that I am going to be passing on to others because they just are not for me. So I'm gonna start, I think, with my Bath & Body Works burns. A lot of these are Bath & Body Works. I have a single wick here of Summer Boardwalk that I burned through. This did not return in a 3-wick. I really hope that it comes in a 3-wick, maybe at the end of the season here, not sure, but if anybody has burned this, this is a very strong, sweet fragrance. It reminds me of like kettle corn, caramel corn, or almost even like a candy apple fragrance. And I like this little jar. It was cute. The burn was okay for a single wick, very strong. Single wick of this filled up my entire kitchen. So this was strong, and I got it on sale. Good one. And if it did come in a 3-wick, I would consider purchasing it. Let's see, another single wick that my son had from last Halloween is Wicked Vanilla Woods from Bath & Body Works. Now this fragrance to me is just okay. I wish that it was stronger, and I feel like this type of vanilla for Bath & Body Works does not project very well. It's very faint. But I do like the smoky vanilla in this and the woodsiness. It kind of reminds me of Mummy Marshmallow from Kringle. But it was just okay. I don't think I would repurchase this fragrance. And my son didn't really care for it either. Even in my like powder room, my bathroom, it was very light. So that would not be a repurchase for us. Okay, moving on to 3 wicks. I finished up my Honey Crisp Apple. This was like a 10 out of 10 performance-wise and throw-wise. Very strong, crisp apple fragrance. Golden Honey Crisp, Apple Blossom, and Fresh Sugar Cane. Pretty clean burn here. I had no issues with the wicks on this one. Super strong. It filled my open concept area as well as the kitchen. So this would be a definite recommendation for anyone looking for a fresh apple fragrance. Next up is one of the online exclusives. This is Porchside Pumpkin. I really like the label and the jar and the colored wax. However, I had some issues with this about midway through, where the fragrance and the wicks just kind of got wonky on me. And I honestly almost exchanged this when I smelled it on cold because I wasn't sure I liked the scent. It smelled very masculine to me, but I decided to give it a chance and burn it. And I'm glad I did because it really changed upon burn, and I actually very much enjoyed this fragrance. So this is Porchside Pumpkin, Cardamom Spice, and Aromatic Wood. And you definitely get the aromatic wood in this. And then as it was burning, I kind of picked up on a floral note, like the mums that others have mentioned. And it's definitely a spicy, almost masculine cologne leaning scent. Now, would I repurchase this again in store? Probably not. I would probably go for something more like Pumpkin Bonfire or Pumpkin Clove to get the feel more so than like a cologne or wearable perfumey type fragrance. So it was nice. The throw was a solid like 8 out of 10, but again, my wicks got weird and it kind of just piddled out on me towards the end, and I had to keep forcing burns to get through it. So that's Porchside Pumpkin. Another online exclusive was Dutch Apple Waffles. This one also got weird towards the end. I had no issues upon initial burns of this one, but somewhere around like here, it just stopped smelling. Like it just really couldn't smell very much. Now this one had no puny wicks or anything. I just feel like the fragrance really dissipated toward the end part of the candle, which I mean, for $10 and some change, it is what it is, and you kind of get what you pay for, I suppose. But it is a beautiful gourmand scent. You definitely get the warm bakery waffles. It's definitely like a pastry type fragrance with some cooked apples, not fresh apples. These are definitely baked, syrupy, warm apples. Would I get this if this was in store? Yes, I would consider getting this one if I was in store again, but I wouldn't do another online order. All right, what else do we have down here? We'll save that one for a little bit later. Oh, this one, whipped honey and vanilla. Finished this in the neutral line. I really like this fragrance. It burned very clean. I had no issues with the wicks or the burn on this one. It is a little bit of a lighter scent, and it plays more of a background role, I would say. It's not a powerhouse. It's probably only like a 6 out of 10 for me, but I really like this scent. It's definitely a creamy, kind of lactonic sort of vanilla with that warm, sweet honey. So I really like this. I have this in wallflowers, and I'm actually finishing up wallflowers and going to take a break from them for a while, just so I can really get the true fragrance of the candles I'm burning and not be, you know, having those wallflowers mixed into the background. So I do really like that fragrance, and I would purchase that. Probably not this year just because I have so many other candles to go through, but probably next year if it comes out again, I will repurchase that one. Okay, going to the vanilla line. I purchased all 3 of the vanillas, and I have to say I'm pretty disappointed in most of them. I'm gonna start off with the worst for me. The worst was Vanilla Cafe, and I actually left myself some notes on this one. I had to keep moving this one back and forth between my candle lamp and like trying to burn it. I just got like no scent out of this. The wicks got short and puny. It's not sooty really, but it just got those little tiny puny little wicks and flames that barely did anything. You can see they're just like those tiny little nubs. And even under my candle lamp, this was pretty weak. Maybe like a 4 or 5 out of 10. I don't know. It was rough, and it's unfortunate because the fragrance itself I really like. I love the body care in this, but I would not repurchase the candle. I will continue to use and probably repurchase more of the body care, but I didn't like the candle in this. It was a very bad performer. Then the next worst was probably Vanilla Romance. This one too developed the little tiny weird wicks. This one was probably even weaker, to be honest with you. I had this going in my bedroom, so it was not a huge space, and I would say it was probably a 5 out of 10, which is a bummer because this is my like favorite vanilla fragrance. You know, no sooting, but the wicks are just tiny little things there. I mean, there was obviously no need to trim anything. I didn't trim anything because they just stayed so small, and yeah, didn't do well. Then the one that did the best was actually Vanilla Ease. So Vanilla Ease, I also had burning in my bedroom. This was probably, it smells so good. This was probably more like a 6 or 7 out of 10. And you can see that the wicks are a little longer on this one. They didn't do the puny wick thing where they get like really fat at the base and really short. Like they stayed pretty skinny and fairly tall. So this one I would actually maybe repurchase for my bedroom space especially. It's a very comforting yet sweet vanilla fragrance. I love this. Body care, I already threw like almost 1 jar of the lotion and stuff. This is one of Haley's that she had from over the winter time. This is from the Bridgerton collection, and this is Penelope's First Kiss. So Haley loves her florals. She is at work right now, so she couldn't join us for this. But she did a great job of burning this all the way down to the bottom. This has scent notes of subtle white roses, soft peonies, and Regency era pages. So she's an avid book reader, and she loves her florals. So this was the perfect candle for her. I like the jar. It's very pretty, very romantic looking. And for a floral, I know on Cold Sniff here, me sticking my nose in it, I can smell a lot of rose and peony. And then when she was burning this in her room, I also got a lot of the peony, I would say more so than the rose. So this is a very peony heavy candle, but good. Okay, and then one random one. If you guys seen some of my recent videos, I have talked about Orleans Home Fragrance. So I did finish up one of their 2-wick, they call it an elite jar, in the fragrance Tobacco Vanilla, and I love this fragrance. Some of the wax does stick on the side, you guys. You can see it's not the cleanest burn in the world, but very like minimal to no sooting for being a soy wax blend and not 100% soy. And the scent throw on this one, in my opinion, for a 2-wick candle was like a 7 out of 10, which is pretty good. So this fragrance is exactly as you would expect. It's a sweet tobacco, which is even more sweetened up and warmed up by the vanilla. I love this scent, and this is probably my 2nd or 3rd one I've purchased from this company. And I do know that they usually have a pretty good discount on Black Friday, so I may get a few more when I go back on sale, but I won't pay full price for them. I only buy them when they're 20% off. So just a heads up there on that. Okay, another random. Haley finished this up. So she had this left from last year, and it's Applewood Orchard from Slatkin & Co. And this was, I could smell this coming out of her room. This is a beautiful apple fragrance. She burned this a lot when I was doing the Honeycrisp apple from Bath & Body Works. She would burn this in her room, and look at how clean that is. Great burn on this one. Harry's Candles, I feel like he's improved a lot of the scent performance and fragrance throw. This was like an 8 out of 10. This is a beautiful, fresh apple. I would say there's a tinge of like cinnamon in here, maybe just a tiny bit of spice. So this has orchard apple, golden pear juice, clove bud, and cinnamon. Yep, the cinnamon and the clove bud. This is a fantastic apple fragrance. We got this last year when they were still in TJ Maxx for $14.99. I would definitely get this again. I'm just like really having a hard time buying from the website lately. The deals just don't feel like they've been as good. I've bought some things from QVC and like 2 from the website, but I really miss having the Homeworks and the discount stores. That was so fun for me to go hunting and look for those candles. Sorry, you guys, I had to take a quick break for a minute. My phone was going off like crazy, so I just wanted to make sure everything was all good. Okay, so we're gonna finish up here with Kringle, what I finished, and some of what I'm decluttering. As you guys know, Katie gave me a bunch of her Kringle stuff, so keep in mind, and I'll let you know which ones were like half burns for me, which ones were mine that I had purchased. So I'm just gonna go ahead and reach in here, and the first one here that I finished up was Apple Rum Cake. This one I did buy myself. This has apple, spiced rum, dates, fruit, pastry, cinnamon, and nutmeg. This is strong. First and foremost, I'm gonna tell you that this is like 8 or 9 out of 10. This is probably one of the stronger Kringle candles that I have ever had or burned. I do want to say, and one of the reasons why I kind of stopped here is that once it got to like this point, I felt like I was starting to get like this kind of burnt cinnamon kind of fragrance. And I know I've mentioned this before. It's kind of like, what is the fragrance from Bath and Body Works? The sweet cinnamon pumpkin, whatever that fragrance is, it just starts to smell really hot and burnt. Not like red hot cinnamon, but just something very strong and like burnt about it. And that's what kind of started towards the end of this candle. Otherwise, this was very much what this shows. This was apple, this was rum, and this was cake. It's dense, it's sweet, it's apple, it's boozy. And I really did enjoy it up until like maybe the last couple burns here. Would I get it again? Yeah, I probably would, and I would probably just stick to this size vessel. I don't think I would need a 4-wick in this. I think that would be too much because this was strong enough on its own. And out of the fall collection, I think this and the two other ones I'll tell you I think would be worth repurchasing, but this would be a repurchase for me. Okay, another one from the fall Kringle collection that Katie actually gave me, and I think she sent it to me when it was about halfway or so, so I was able to burn the second half of this candle, and it's Vancouver Cabin. I'm tripping over my words. So this has fragrance notes of bergamot, cedar, balsamic, patchouli, moss, and amber. And I actually love this scent. I think this is an absolutely beautiful fragrance. I would absolutely get this again, and I am considering actually getting it in the 4-wick right now because they are on sale for $31.50. This is so pretty. It's slightly outdoorsy, but in a perfumey way. This does not come across as masculine at all to me. This leans more like a feminine fragrance. It's beautiful. This definitely feels kind of airy. I get the amber and the moss and the bergamot. I don't really get patchouli in this at all. This is just such a well-rounded fragrance, and I would put this in kind of the same like category as like coral is in the springtime. It's like one of those kind of perfumey fragrances that it's hard to describe, but it is like if you were going, say, to the woods, like wherever this Vancouver Cabin is, and this was like a cabin style resort and it was really upscale and bougie, this is what would be in the lobby. I feel like it almost has like a lobby spa smell to it. I really like this one. I think it's really pretty. And I feel like it's not getting enough love. Nobody's really talking about it, but I really like that one. Okay, where is the other one? Okay, so Velvet Fig is the other one I would repurchase from the fall lineup. I purchased this with my own money. I burned the whole candle, and I really love this one. I can definitely get, I can definitely get the booze in this. The cognac does come through when you're burning it, but also the tonka and the amber and the fig. This is a creamy, creamy fig. It's very creamy, slightly spicy from the cognac, and has beautiful ripe fig notes in it. So I would definitely get this again. However, I would get it in the 4-wick because it was mild to moderate in my space here. So I would get this in a 4-wick. Okay, also from the fall collection, now this is one that Katie had given to me, and I think she gave it to me about halfway through. So I burned through it a few, and this is okay. This is not one I would repurchase. This one, it smells more masculine to me. A masculine outdoorsy scent. It's almost like it wants to be a mix between leaf peeper and autumn. What is it? Autumn Woods, the other one that smells like autumn from Bath and Body Works. But it's just missing something. That it's amber, moss, green, fougere, Stemmy greens, lavender, fir, and wood. Yeah, it's just a little too green for me. There's a lot of greens in this one. So if you're a greens lover, it's a beautiful label, then I would check this one out. Sorry, you guys, I have like major issues from the storm that came through, and my sinuses, my throat feels just so rough. So this is another one Katie gave me, Rosewood and Vetiver, and as you can see, I did not burn much of this one. I burned it twice. I don't care for this scent at all. To my nose, I smell maple when I'm burning this. I feel like it smells like maple syrup. This has notes of amber, wood, floral, fruit, amber, and tobacco leaf, and I don't know if it's the amber in this or the fruit. But yeah, it's just not working for me. I couldn't even handle it burning, so I will be decluttering this and giving this one away. What else do we got in here? Oh, this was another one I didn't really care for. I did burn it, the whiskey and embers. Look at, this one was pretty dirty burn. It was, yeah, and the wicks got really, really big with really big carbon balls on top. This is just very whiskey heavy. This is a very whiskey forward fragrance, which I didn't really care for. It's definitely not what I'm looking to burn anytime soon. So this for me is a pass, but if you do like whiskey boozy fragrances, it was a strong fragrance. I will say that for that candle. Next up, oh, I finished up Chest of Chaos that Katie had given me. It was probably about halfway through when she gifted it to me. And this was, I have a dedicated review on my channel for this one. This one was a very vanilla peach fragrance to me with a slight bit of woods in it. It was very sweet, very pretty. I think the woods in it really helps give it some complexity. So this has notes of warm spice, amber, peach, vanilla, tonka bean, and amber. So it's got amber in here twice. But yeah, I definitely recommend this one. It's still on the website and I would grab it. It's a beautiful fruity vanilla fragrance with a bit of woods in it. It's not scary. On the scare factor, it's very low. It's not incensey. It's not, it's actually one that I would burn maybe even in spring or summer. So this is a good one that I would recommend. The label is not too scary or weird. I actually kind of like the little ghost coming out of the chest there. So yeah, guys, that rounds up my mid-August empties and a couple of declutters in here. I do have a lot of Halloween stuff coming in and caramel sundaes. So I'm gonna have quite an influx of stuff in the next couple of weeks, but I thank you guys so much for listening and following and sharing my channel with others. I hope you have a wonderful Friday and a great rest of your weekend. Bye-bye.